morning?
Woohoo!
Woo! Are you excited? I'm excited. I'm also kind of nervous, so. So, what we're going to do to start off is I want everyone to go ahead and stand up. And we're going to go ahead and get some morning stretches done because it is still bright and early in the morning and I want you to feel very relaxed and ready. So what I want everyone to do is just rock your head back and forth very slowly. You don't want to overstretch anything, but you want to go ahead and get a good enough stretch that your neck feels relaxed. And once we get that done, let's go ahead and bring our head to the center. Once we have our head to the center, let's go ahead and roll those shoulders back. You don't have to do it so fast. You can go slight and steady. Make sure you really feel that stretch in your chest and in your back. And now let's go ahead and switch it forward. And while you're doing this, make sure that you're taking deep breaths. You don't want to be going, you want to be. Was that pretty funny? Alrighty. So now let's go ahead and take our right arm and take it over while using your left arm to hold it. And we're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Next, we're going to do the same on the other side. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And you can just go ahead and jump on in and join us during these stretches, all right? So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let our head and bodies hang. So just go ahead and slowly reach down to your toes. Go as far as you can. Make sure you're still taking nice and deep breaths. As you breathe in, you should be able to stretch just a little farther, but don't go enough to hurt yourself. And make sure that your heart and your chest are going straight to the floor. Also let your head hang slowly. You should be able to shake it yes. You should be able to shake it no. And then slowly climb back up. And during this, pretend that you're growing taller than you were before. And look all the way up. And then look back down. Pull your shoulders back. And let it drop. How's everyone feeling? Everyone feel stretched? Everyone feel good? Good. So after that little stretch that we just did, let's go ahead and play a quick game. Do you remember shakedown? Do I need to explain the rules again? No? Okay, so to start it off, we're gonna do 8 counts on the hand, on your right hand, then 8 counts on your left hand, 8 counts on your right leg, 8 counts on your left leg, 8 counts in your head, and then 8 counts in your body. And you can be as silly as you want with this. This is to get the energy going. And then from there we go from 8 to 4, 2 to 1. Are there any more questions? We good? Okay, so let's get started. Let's get our right hands up. Oh, and give yourself a little bit of space so that you don't end up whacking each other. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and count with me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Woo! Everyone's feeling good? Good. Next, what I want you to think about is you just ate some of the hottest food you just ate. Can someone give me an example of something really hot you've eaten before? It could be like hot chocolate, hot coffee, a hot slice of pizza.
I'm glad you clarified. I was thinking spicy.
Me too.
Spicy could also work as well. You're going. Any examples that you could think of? Rio?
Coffee.
Coffee, that's a good example. What about you, Drake? Anything hot that you've eaten before?
Yeah.
You think you have?
Yeah.
Like, was it like a hot pocket? Like, it sounded like it was already cooked in the microwave. You took it out and it was actually like hot lava almost.
It's more like spicy noodles, spicy chicken, spicy allspice foods.
Yes.
And then it creates real spiciness. It's going to pickle and chicken spice.
So just like when you think of the hot temperatures, the hot spiciness can also have you go and that's the space that you want to think of when you sing. You want to think that nice, tall, open resonance. So what I want you to think is to go ahead and sit up straight up in your chairs, on the booties on the edge of your seat, and make sure that your feet are planted nice on the ground. And I want you to think of a whisper, but you're going to be doing the little the sound that I just showed you to get that sound that you want. So we're going to go on a whisper, going, Can everyone repeat after me? And can we do it with our hands this time? Going, One more time. There we go. So what you feel and you think of that, I want you to think of that while you're singing. So let's make sure that we're sitting nice and tall while we sing. So let's do I,
This is the space.
Are we good?
Oh,
Okay.
he needs to come first.
So let's go ahead and start. 1, 2, 3,
Okay, thank you.
4. And don't be afraid to sing out loud. Now let's do it really quietly. Not really loudly. And then one more. And this time I want you to think somewhere in the middle. Let's think regular, your regular voice, all right? So let's go. Good job. So next, I want you to take out 1 foot out. Do you have your folders out? Give me some time. So now, as we look through 1 foot, do we see any dynamics in this piece? And do you know what I mean by dynamics? Like any dynamic markings on this piece? Jada Maya, do you see any? No? Yeah, you're right. There's not many dynamic markings on this one. So for this one, this is more of a, we're just gonna go ahead and have fun while we sing this one. We don't really have to worry about dynamics, but we do wanna have our presence there. We wanna have our voices going with this. So if everyone can go ahead and stand up while we sing this. And if you could play us our opening phrase, and what we're just gonna do is listen. Okay.
Farther?
Yeah, a little farther.
That's all right.
Okay, did everyone get that? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other. and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. Good job. So for that section, the first time that we sing it, I want us to sing it forte. Can anyone explain to me what forte is? Or do any of you remember what forte means?
Loud.
Yes, loud. And forte is represented by an F, right? So for the first time that we sing that phrase, I want us to sing it nice, loud, and strong. And then the second time, when we come into the song, or into that phrase, I want us to sing it piano. Does anyone remember what piano means? Soft. And what stands for piano in music? Any guesses? A P, there we go. So, while we sing this first section, I want you to sing the first section, the first time we sing it nice and strong. And then the second time that we come into it, I want us to sing it nice and soft. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go ahead and get set. 1, 2, ready, go. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. How do you feel about that? On a scale of 1 to 5, do you feel like you sang the fortes loud and strong? Do you feel like you could use a little more breath into it and give it more energy? And what about the pianos? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you did nice and quiet, or were you still pretty loud? So on a scale of 1 to 5. Jada, you feel 4? How do you feel? 5. And then you feel 4. How do you feel? 4? Okay, so for this next run, what I want us to really focus on is to really make it more, the first run more nice and powerful. The second run when we did it nice and quiet was really what I was looking for, but for the first one, let's give it some nice and power. So don't be afraid to sing out on this one. So, do you know what I mean by that? Yes? Okay, so let's go ahead and start over. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Do you feel better on that second time that we did it? Yes? No? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel like we could add more dynamics into that, or do you feel like we're doing too much?
Add more.
We could add more? How do you guys feel about adding more? Are you okay with that? Is that a good idea? Alright, we're gonna do that one more time and then we're gonna go ahead and move on. So let's really bring on that A game. So let's restart, and we're starting at the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put So now we're gonna go ahead and move on. So this is a call and response section. Can anybody tell me what call and response means? Any guesses? So from the words call and response, you can think of it as oh, I'm getting a phone call, so I need to respond back. Kind of like when someone says, hello, am I speaking with so-and-so? You could say, yes, you are speaking with so-and-so. Think of a call and response just like that. So during the verse 1, I'm going to sing, don't give up hope, and you would repeat back with, yeah, don't give up hope. But that we sing that later on, yeah. But yeah, it is don't give up hope. And then I go on and sing, you're not alone, and you sing back with, yeah, exactly. So the call and response is just that back and forth. So what we did in the first section where we did really loud, we did nice and forte in the first part. So when we do the repeat section, let's go ahead and do it nice and piano. Does that make sense? Yes? No? You want to go ahead and do it, and then we can work from there? Yeah? Okay. So we're starting on verse 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. How do you feel about that one section that we just ran through? Do you feel like we could add more forte and more piano into that? Did the call and response kind of throw you off? No? You want to run that section, just that section one more time? The don't give up hope section? And would you like me to sing your response with you as well? For the don't give up hope? Would that help? Yeah? Okay, for sure, I can do that. So let's go ahead and look back at don't give up hope. So we're gonna start nice and forte, and then we go into piano for the second part. So 1, 2, ready, go. Don't give up hope, don't give up hope. You're not alone, you're not alone. Don't you give up, don't you give up. Keep moving on, keep moving on. Yeah, there you go, that sounded a lot more confident. Was the first time that we did it just a little bit of not really sure what I wanted you guys to do? A little bit of that? Okay, for sure. So just like we did in this verse, for the next verses that we do for lift up your eyes, basically we're gonna do just the same with that. So let's go ahead and look at verse number 2. So I'm gonna sing the first part and you're gonna call and response to that, all right? And can we make sure that our music is up so that we can see it, please? Thank you. All right. 1, 2, ready, go. Lift up your eyes. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. Look up ahead. The path is there. The path is there. Yeah. So, do we feel confident enough to go through the song now? All the way from the beginning to the end? Yes, no? From a 1 to a 5, how do we feel about being able to sing it all the way through? 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and start from the very beginning. So, 1, 2, ready, go. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. and lead with love. Don't you give up. Let's go ahead and restart that. I accidentally sang you guys the wrong words. My bad. Let's restart at verse 1. So, 1. And Drake, we are on 1 foot, and we are at verse 1. Yes. So, we're going to go 1, 2, ready, go. Don't give up hope.
Don't give up hope.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving on.
You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes.
Don't you despair.
Don't you despair.
Look up ahead.
Look up ahead.
The path is there.
The path is there.
You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes.
Don't you despair.
Don't you despair.
Look up ahead.
Look up ahead.
The path is there.
The path is there.
You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared,
I know you're scared.
and I'm scared too.
And I'm scared too.
But I am here,
But I'm here.
right next to you.
Right next to you.
You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love. Good job. How do you guys feel about that? You guys are sounding pretty good with that. Feel pretty confident? Like you like the song? Do you like the song, Real? Good, good. How about you, Jaden? Yeah? Drake? How do you feel about the song?
That's fun.
It's a fun song, isn't it? Alright, if everyone can go ahead and take a seat, go ahead and take out Music Down in My Soul. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hand you out some colored pencils because during this part, we are going to identify all of our dynamic markings. Here you go. Oh, you already got some. Yeah, of course. So for a little bit of review, who can tell me what the P stands for? Piano. And what does that mean when we're singing in music? Jada Mine? The piano. Does it mean that we're singing loudly? Does it mean that we're singing softly? Does it mean that we're singing in the middle? Or does it mean that we're suddenly getting loud and quiet? Which do you think it is? And remember, it's okay to take a guess as well. In the middle? That's a good guess, but for piano, what we want to do is we want to sing quietly and softly. Who can tell me what this means, the MP?
Mezzo piano.
Mezzo piano. And Drake, can you tell me what mezzo piano means? Do you think it's loud, medium soft, or soft? Or suddenly? You could also phone a friend if you'd like. And what that means is that you can ask one of your classmates to help you. Or you can ask me to help you as well. So when we think mezzo piano, we think medium soft. And can everyone say that with me? Mezzo piano, and then medium soft.
Medium soft.
Thank you. Now, who can tell me what MF means? And can I get an answer from this side of the room? Brielle, do you have a guess? No? So, we did mezzo already, and what does mezzo already mean? Excuse me? Medium, that's right. So we have mezzo down, that's how I spell mezzo, and medium. And what does the F stand for? And to give you a hint, it's the opposite of the P. So if P is piano, it's soft. So if it's F, what does it mean? And it's, scratch the last part. If it's F, what's the opposite to piano? Loud? Yeah. Medium, loud. And does anyone remember the term for loud in music? Forte, there you go. So the next one we're gonna do is just the F. What does the F stand for in music? Have we seen the F before? Yes, we have. Where did we see the F before? Did we see it in MP for mezzo piano? Did we see it in MF for mezzo forte? Any guesses? It's alright to guess. Forte. And so once we have forte, we know that forte means loud. There you go. So now we have two more to go through. does FF mean in music?
Fortissimo?
Fortissimo, yeah, that's right. And what would you assume that fortissimo means? Very loud, correct. Now we have one more, and it is S, F, Z. Does anyone remember which this one means? Sforzando, yeah, that's right. And can anyone tell me what that means?
Suddenly loud.
Suddenly loud, that's right. So what all of these little symbols mean is that these are the dynamics that are found in music. And for the dynamics, what that means is that is the volume that you should be approaching that phrase. So if we see piano in our music, that wants us to sing softly. If we see mezzo piano in our music, we should still be singing softly, but more than just a whisper. Mezzo forte, it's kind of like our regular speaking voices where it's just like, you can hear me from across the room. And in forte, you really want to bring that loud sound. You want to bring your presence to that room. And then for fortissimo, you want to be sure that you're really loud when you're singing. You don't want to be almost shouting, but you do want to have your presence right there. Can you hear how loud I am right now? Yeah? Okay, now for forzando, we're going from really loud to all of a sudden we're going really quiet again and coming back up, right back up. Does that make sense? So, Jadamon, can you talk to me in mezzo piano? Just whatever comes to mind. No? So I'm just gonna go, hi Jadamon, I'm talking in mezzo piano. It's nice and soft. Brielle, can you talk to me in piano? Yeah, just like that, where it's like nice and quiet. Where it's just like you don't want to be too loud, but it comes out nice and quiet. So, good job. For forte, Jade, can you speak to me in using your forte voice?
Sure, but I don't want to.
Thank you for participating. For fortissimo, Marlon. Okay. Go ahead and just say, hi, Mr. Juarez, in your fortissimo voice. Hi, Mr. Juarez, in your fortissimo voice.
Hi, Mr. Juarez.
There you go. And Drake, can you say, hi, Mr. Juarez, in your sforzando voice?
Fine.
Yeah, for sure, try it. Do you want me to do it with you?
I'm gonna do it. I'll do it, and then that's when it's all over.
Yeah. So with the sforzando, what you did was that what we want to do is that we want to bring we're suddenly loud, and then we're going back to the quiet, and then we're slowly growing louder again. And what you did was that you gave us that nice and quiet sound that we get after our forte. So, can everyone do sforzando with me? So we're going to say, hi, Mr. Juarez. So, let's go again. Hi, Mr. Juarez. There you go. So, as we're going through music down in my soul, what is the first dynamic marking that we see come up in the music?
Forte.
Forte. And what color do we think forte is?
Blue.
Blue? So for when we are marking in our music, we're going to take our blue colored pencils and we're going to have forte be blue. So everyone take out your blue colored pencil and look through your music and put a circle around forte, just like this. Go. This is that. That. Is there anywhere else that we see a forte in our music? So you can look through the pages of your music and make sure that you're looking carefully. And once we find one, raise your hand and we can go ahead and mark it down. You have your handers? Where do we have our next forte?
Page 5.
Page 5. So if everyone can turn to page 5, and we're going to look for our next forte. And as you can see here, it is in the first measure of our page 5.
And I want to tell you guys too, Mr. Juarez wasn't here when we marked our dynamics in lineage. When we did that, I had you do them all in one color, I think. So what he's asking you to do now is to color code the dynamics based on their levels, right? So right now, you're just looking for the places where you're indicated to sing forte, okay? Does that make sense? How that's different than what we did before?
Yeah.
Shaking heads, yes, yes, no, Okay, looking for just the forte places.
Forte on page 5. Forte on page 5. Yep, you got it.
There's also one on page 3.
Oh, there's also one on page 3. So page 5 is right here. And we're going to take our blue colored pencil and we're going to mark the dynamic right here with a circle. Very good. And you can make it a little darker so you can see it a little bit better. Good. There we go. And Miss Grove says that there's one on page 3 as well. So if everyone can flip to page 3. And the forte marking is on our first measure of page 3. Over here. And is that page 3? Yes, that's page 3. Yep, you got it. Yep, you got it. Can anyone find the next forte in our music? Is there another one, Rick? Oh, at the bottom, page 3.
Is it page 3? Maybe I'm saying the wrong page. Oh, it's page 5, sorry.
Oh, page 5. Okay, no, you're good.
Oh, man, I'm bad.
So Drake is saying that on page 5, we have another forte at the bottom, and it is the last measure of page 5. So did we get that marked on page 5? Yep, you got it. Oh, and there it is. Did you get it? Okay, cool. So let's move on to the next page. And do we see any more dynamic markings here? No? As we move on to the next page, I also don't see any dynamic markings. And right now, I am on page 8. Do we see any more fortes? No, no fortes. There's none on page 9. And on page 10, we also don't have any markings. And as we get to page 11, there are also no more markings. So we we are done with our fortes. So can someone tell me what forte means? Loud, there you go. So for our next dynamic marking that we find, I see it on page 4. So on page 4, what dynamic marking do we see? It's piano. And can anyone tell me what piano means? Soft, there you go. So when you think of piano, what color do you think it is? Purple? Cool. So when we see our piano markings, we are going to use our purple color pencil and circle that dynamic. Do we see any more pianos on page 4? No? What about on page 5? Do we see any more pianos in the music right there? No? As we move on to page 6, do we see any other pianos here? No? Let's go on to page 7. Do we have any more pianos? I don't see any. On page 8, we have a dynamic marking, but it's not a piano, so we'll come back to that one later. On page 9, any dynamic markings that we see there? No, I don't see any either. Page 10. I don't see any dynamics on that. And page 11, the last page. Do we see any dynamics? No. So for our piano, we are done. So the next dynamic level that we see is on page 8. Yes. So on page 8, at the bottom of the page on the last stanza, the next dynamic that we see is fortissimo. So what color do we want to label for fortissimo? Green? So everyone take out your green colored pencil, and we're going to mark our fortissimo. And do you know where it's at? And we are on page 8 for our fortissimos. What the? And we're on page 8. And we're looking for fortissimo. And once you find it, you're going to circle it in green. Did you find it? Yeah. Marked it down. Great. Did you find your fortissimo on page 8? Good job. There you go. Do we see any more fortissimos throughout the music? Yeah? Where do we see it at? On page 1. And where on page 1 do you see the fortissimo? For the only F, where? Oh yeah. So when we mark the one on top, it also goes down to the one on the bottom. So that also goes down to the bottom. So we got that one. So there's a fortissimo in the piano. What color do we think fortissimo is? Oh, it's green. It's green. Yeah, it's green. So go ahead and take your colored pencils, and on page 1, we can go ahead and circle the fortissimo. We won't be singing there, but the piano will be singing at that part. So there, that's where you hear the piano being really loud and strong.
You can all look at me and say,
Mm-hmm.
be loud.
Play green.
Play green.
Another dynamic that we can see here that we didn't mention up here is called pianissimo, and what that means is that it's very, very soft. And that is shown by 2 P's. I can write that up here. P, 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 and E, C, mo. And that means very soft. And so far, I think I can only see one at the very beginning of the music. What color do we think pianissimo is? An orange. So everyone, take out your orange colored pencil, and we're gonna go ahead and circle pianissimo. And did everyone get it? Yeah. Do you know where it's at? Okay. Did you find it? So it's right. And you're just gonna circle it. You got it? Did you find a pianissimo? Yeah, there you go. So there are 2 more things that I want to go ahead and mention to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. There are 2 symbols throughout the music that we see. And they look just like this. And throughout our music, these are dynamic ranges that encourage us to go louder, we go from soft to more louder, and we go from louder to more softer. So what the first one is called a crescendo. Can everyone say that with me? Crescendo. Very good. So crescendo, what that means is that we are increasing our volume, the sound of our volume. So we're going from a quieter to like making sure that we're getting louder. So can everyone say, hi, Mr. Juarez, using a crescendo? So we're gonna start off, hi, Mr. Juarez. See, as we start quiet and then we start getting even more louder. So everyone repeat after me. Hi, hi, Mr. Juarez.
Mr. Juarez.
There you go. One more time so we can get that loud going. Hi, Mr. Juarez. There you go. And that means growing louder. So we're also going to see this symbol. And what this stands for is decrescendo. Can everyone say that after me? Decrescendo.
Decrescendo.
There you go. So if we're growing louder with a crescendo, what can we guess that you're doing with a decrescendo? What was that? You're going softer. So can everyone repeat after me? We're going to be going from loud to soft. So we're going to go, hi, Mr. Juarez. So, hi, Mr. Juarez. Go ahead and repeat after me. Hi, Mr. Juarez. So you get that? Okay. So I want to ask you guys as well. What color do we think crescendo is? Red? So we're going to take out our red marker, or not a red marker, our red colored pencil, and we're going to look through our music for any crescendos that we can find. Has anyone found a crescendo yet? Yep, page 4, on page 4. And for the crescendo on that, it's a pretty big crescendo. So it is over my head. It's right here. So we see the crescendo right here. And there on page four.
Crescendo over your head.
And do you see the crescendo? So the crescendo is really hidden down here. So you can see that it's louder and louder and louder right there. Did you find it? Yes, you did. Did you find crescendo, Drake? Alright, yeah. Are there any more crescendos in the music that we can find? Any more? That you see?
Page 11.
Page 11. And that's at the very end. Very, very end. So that one's really like a big grand finale moment that you want to sing out for. And then, crescendo's right there. Are you on page 11? Yes. And can you show me where the crescendo's at? Yeah, that's the crescendo. And there's the crescendo. Did you find the crescendo? You got your crescendo here? So, what does crescendo mean? Getting louder, that's right. So now we're moving on to our decrescendos. What does decrescendo mean? Getting softer. And what color do we think our decrescendo would be? Pink? Okay. So let's look through our music and see if we can find any decrescendos that we sing.
Page 1.
On page 1. And where do you see the decrescendo at on page 1?
Measure 4.
Could you repeat that?
Measure 4.
Measure 4. That's right. It is over air. So we see air right here, and we see it going into a decrescendo on page 1. We find it. Did you find it, Brielle? It's on page 1. So at the very beginning. Did you find it? Did you find your decrescendos? There you go. Good job. Any other decrescendos that we see throughout the music? No? I think that's all I got. Okay. So, with what we have learned so far, what does piano mean? Huh? What does piano? Soft, it means soft. So everyone can repeat with me after me. Hi, Mr. Juarez, in our piano voice. Hi, Mr. Juarez. And mezzo piano means JMI. Medium soft, because we still in our piano, but that's a good guess. You got the medium part right. So if everyone can say in your mezzo piano voice, hi, Mr. Juarez. Hi, Mr. Juarez. And for our next dynamic, it's mezzo forte. And Brielle, what does mezzo forte mean?
Louder.
We're getting louder, but what kind of loud? Are we gonna be like really loud, or are we gonna be soft, like soft loud? Soft, that's right, good job. So if everyone can say, hi, Mr. Juarez, in your mezzo forte voice. Hi, Mr. Juarez. So, Jada, so for our mezzo, or for our forte voice, where would we be at? What does that mean?
Somewhere between your regular voice and a little bit louder.
Yeah, somewhere between our regular voice and a little bit louder. So that would mean we would sing in our quote unquote loud voice. So if everyone could repeat after me, hi, Mr. Juarez.
Hi,
Hi,
Mr. Juarez.
There you go. And Drake, what does fortissimo mean? Does it mean loud?
Diffusing means it's for high levels of very loud applications we use at high levels to use with brain to communicate.
So yeah, so we're gonna use we're gonna use a higher voice, not a higher voice, but a higher presence of voice that we're gonna use. So we wanna make sure that we're really loud. So if everyone can say, "Hi, Mr. Juarez," in your fortissimo voice.
Hi, Mr. Juarez.
There you go. And as a class, what does sforzando mean? Yeah, what does sforzando mean?
Suddenly loud.
Suddenly loud. So can everyone say forzando? And can everyone say suddenly loud?
Suddenly loud.
So for forzando, we're gonna say, "Hi, Mr. Juarez," and we're gonna say, "Hi, Mr. Juarez." So if everyone can repeat after me. "Hi, Mr. Juarez." So you really hear that sudden loudness and become really quiet. So one more time. "Hi, Mr. Juarez." There you go. So now that we have our dynamic markings down written in our music, and we have an understanding of what we will be singing, let us turn to page 4, or not page 4, page 6. Once everyone has got to page 6, go ahead and show me 5. 5, 5, 5, 5. You got it? Okay. So for page 6, we have a little bit of a pickup with "I've got this music down in my soul." And what dynamic do we see that it starts off on "I've got this"?
Yeah, see it. Drake's got it.
Oh, Drake, you have the answer?
It's forte.
It's forte. So what that means is for forte, we're going to really start off nice and strong with that. So if everyone can go ahead and stand up. Let's go ahead and stand up for this. And Miss Groves, if you can play us our notes before we start singing. Okay, there you go. Did everyone get that? So remember, we're on forte, so we gotta make sure we start off nice and strong. So we go 1, 2, 3. I've got this music down in my soul, and it fills my heart with the joy of the Lord. I've got this music down in my soul, and it fills my heart with the joy of the Lord. Good job, guys. What would you grade yourselves on if you sang nice and strong there? Would you give yourself a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 5? All right, well, got to remember 4 as well, and 5. Do we do a good job while we were singing nice and forte? Do we feel like we were too loud or we were too soft? So, you want to show me on 1 through 5? You got a 5? You got a 5? How do you feel? 4? Okay. How do you feel, Jeremiah? 4 or 5? 5? Marlon? 4? You guys did a very good job with that nice, strong forte. There was, you could bring it out just a little bit, some of you guys, but you guys really brought the energy for it that I'm looking for. So let us keep singing on. So pick up to page 6. Is everyone there? Okay. So 1, 2, 3. I've got this music down in my soul, and it fills my heart with the joy of the Lord. I've got this music down in my soul. Give it a little louder. Keep going. I've got a love everlasting. I've got a peace everlasting. I've got a love everlasting. I've got a joy everlasting. Love in my heart. Oh, while we were singing through that piece? Any dynamic changes other than forte? No, there wasn't any other dynamic markings other than forte. So you are really doing a nice job of keeping that nice and strong. And as we were going halfway through it, I heard more of your voices coming out, and I could feel that you were getting more comfortable. So while you're doing that, just feel comfortable from the beginning, because you do have it. So let's go ahead and run that section one more time before we move on. Okay, so pickups to page 6. Everyone there? Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. I've got this music down in my soul, and it fills my heart with the joy of the Lord. I've got this music down in my soul, and it fills my heart with the joy of the Lord. I've got a joy everlasting. I've got a peace everlasting. Go ahead, sing out. There you go, you got it. In my heart, oh yes, I got peace in my soul. Oh yes, I got joy in my heart. Joy today. Yeah, good job. You're really coming forward on that. You're really coming out with that. So now we're gonna move on to we're gonna stay on page 8, and we're gonna go to measure 64. And there we can see that the altos are singing out loud, "Do you love the Lord?" So it's a call and response almost. So they're gonna say, "Do you love the Lord?" And they're gonna say it very loud with fortissimo, which means we're gonna follow with, "I love the Lord." And we're gonna follow that with nice strong fortissimo. So what we just sang was strong. I want to hear loud for that. So does everyone get it? Okay. So yeah, go ahead and play the alto part, and if you could also play their entrance as well. Okay, so 1, 2, ready, go. Do you love the Lord? Do I love the Lord? I love the Lord. 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 I joy everlasting. I've got a joy everlasting. I've got a peace everlasting. I've got a peace everlasting. I've got a joy everlasting. Got this music down in my soul. Yeah. So, do you feel like you were really singing out loud for forte on that part? Or not forte, fortissimo? Do you really feel like you brought it out loud? We can do a little more louder than that. So let's go ahead and run measure 64 again. I really want to hear you bring it out loud. And Mrs. Bays,
Yeah.
could you sing "Do You Love the Lord" for us?
Oh, sure.
That
I'll
section
be the
for us?
alto. Yep.
Yes, on alto.
Yep.
So we're gonna listen for Mrs. Bays, and then and then we're gonna really bring out our answer with "I love the Lord." Really bring it forth. And we are on page 8 on measure 64.
And ready, here I go. Do you love the Lord?
I love the Lord.
Do you love the Lord?
I love the
Do
Lord.
you love the Lord?
I love the Lord.
Do you love the Lord?
I love the Lord.
Do you love the Lord?
I love the
Do
Lord.
you love the Lord?
I love the Lord.
Well,
I've got a joy everlasting. I've got a joy everlasting. I've got a peace everlasting. I've got a peace everlasting. I've got a love everlasting. And then we go back to page 6. In my soul, and it fills my heart with the joy of the Lord. I've got this music down in my soul, and it fills my heart with the joy of the Lord. I've got a joy everlasting. I've got a peace everlasting. I've got a love everlasting. I've got a joy everlasting. Love in my heart. coda where it says, I got joy, I got peace, I got love in my soul. So if everyone can repeat after me, just on words. So we're gonna go, I got joy. Can everyone repeat after me? I got joy,
I got joy.
I got peace,
I got peace.
I got love
I got love
in my soul.
in my soul.
And we have our crescendo marking here that says that we are gonna get louder. So we go, in my soul. So we really wanna go louder than that. So, or do we have any questions so far? No? Okay, so let's just start at, I got joy. Okay, so, 1, 2, ready, go. I got joy, I got peace, I got love in my soul. So when we think about in my soul, when we're singing it out loud, I want you to take your hand out, and as you're growing louder, I want you to grow louder as your hand goes out. So here, we're still at our forte range, and as we bring our hand out, we're gonna get even louder into our fortissimo range. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go ahead and start over at I got joy. 1, 2, ready, go. I got joy, I got peace, I got love in my soul. How do we feel about that crescendo on a scale of 1 to 5? 1 being, I could work on it. 5 being like, I think that was at my very best. How do we feel? 4, 5, 4, 4, 5. Okay, let's do it one more time. I really want to hear it grow louder. I want it to be able to ring out throughout this classroom, okay? So, let's start over. 1, 2, ready, go. I got joy, I got peace, I got love in my soul. Yeah. Do you feel a little bit embarrassed about that? No, it sounds good. It sounds good. If it feels silly while you're doing it, you're doing something right. So if you really want to bring out that sound, don't be embarrassed about it. We're here to sing. Have fun while we're doing it. Let's do it one more time. Really shake out your nervousness for it. Shake out your nerves. You got this. We're here to have fun. And we're having a fun time singing this song.
Oh
Yeah, there we go. So, let's start. I got joy. So, 1, 2, ready, go. I got joy. I got peace. I got love in my soul. Yeah, good job. So do you hear as Miss Groves is going to, can you play the last, during that part, it's like at the end of the movies where it's just like, this is the big moment, this is how we end, here we are, here we sing. So during that, I really want you to just bring it out. I don't want you to just to like sing from like right here to sing to right here, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm only gonna sing to the person right there. I want you to sing out, let's say that one of your parents is up here, and that you're singing to them, and you want them to hear you. And it's just like, they showed up late, and they're sitting in the very back, and they're like, where's my kid? Can I hear my kid? I want to make sure I can hear my kid. And I want you to pretend that you're shooting that sound out to them. So yes, we got power, we got joy, we got love, and then you want to literally have it come out from in your soul. So let's go ahead and do that part one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. I got joy, I got peace, I got love in my soul. Yeah, that sounds great, guys. Give yourself a round of applause. How do you feel about that? It's coming along really nicely. It's coming along. I'm really hearing your sound come through on that. Do you feel silly when you're during that last part? Okay. Did you feel a little silly while you're singing out there to your parents up in the little sound bar up there? Well, when you're singing in a performance, just think like that. I want to sing so that my parents can hear me sing. So if everyone can go ahead and put that away, and we will take out lineage.
Okay.
Yeah, lineage. Once everyone has it out, go ahead and give me 5.
Okay, well, I'm gonna see my keys.
Okay. And what time is this? Oh, we got 6 minutes. We can keep singing. Okay. So once everyone has lineage out, give me 5. You got a drink?
Yes.
Yes, lineage. 5. Okay. So with lineage, we have our first dynamic marking, which is mezzo forte. As a reminder, can someone tell me what does mezzo forte mean? Medium loud. So when we start off, we want to be able to, this is like the start of the story, like, hey, I'm going to grab your attention, but we still haven't gotten to the main point. Does that make sense? So if everyone can go ahead and stand up nice and tall. Okay. So I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. My grandmothers were strong. My grandmothers were strong. They followed plows and went to toil. They moved through fields, calming sea. My grandmothers were strong. Off. My grandmothers were strong. Off. They touched the earth and ran through. They touched the earth and ran through. Off. 2, 3. And my grandmothers are full of memories. My grandmothers are full of memories. Smelling the soap and onions and wet clay. With veins rolling roughly over quick hands, they have many clean words to say. They have many clean words to say. Were strong. My grandmothers were strong. My grandmothers were strong. And that's just the album part, so we don't sing that part. And then it goes. Good job. You guys were really following the dynamic markings on that. I could really hear the softs coming in for the softness and almost whispering, and then really growing out loud. So, good job. Really proud of you guys today. Excellent work. And we have 2 minutes left. Go ahead and put your folders away. So, yeah.